So we're going to look at another option from Presto, which is the Metal Protector HD. This is going to allow us to put a high gloss coating on the surface without relying on actually completely refinishing the material itself. So there's three different ways you can apply the Metal Protector HD, and so I've sectioned off three different areas for us to apply the product. We're going to brush it, roll it, and then spray it, or probably spray it, brush it, and then roll it, since we're up against this piece. And I've created a little tape barrier to help protect from overspray. So, for doing a demonstration, you can get these little sprayers at Home Depot, which will allow you to pour the product in the bottle and just spray it out of this little sprayer. So, what we're going to want to do is locate the Metal Protector HD. Go ahead and fill up the bottle about halfway. Or a little bit less. Probably don't actually need this much. And then you can fill it up with any kind of water. This is smart water. And you just want to stir the product. Mix it up as best as possible. If it's not mixed up well, it's not going to spray. And then test it. And so it looks like it's spraying properly. So we're now ready to spray the product. And then for the brush and roller application, we just have this little paint tray, and we'll just put some of the product in there and also use our small brush to apply the product. So for the spray application, probably going to want to put multiple coats. The more coats, the better. We got a little bit of wind here, which is not ideal. And just put a light coat on there, and we're going to let that dry. And then for the roller application, I'm just going to take a really smooth foam roller get it on the roller nice there. Just put a nice little coat on the surface, see if we can get it on a little thicker. You always got to think about the application when you're doing the test area. You don't want to have to, do 5 applications to make it look good. And then we're going to do the brush application. Now the grain that we were sanding, there's kind of a grain in the metal that goes left to right, so we sanded left to right, and we're going to brush this product on left to right. And try to, as gently as possible, brush it on to leave as little brush strokes as possible on the surface. And there you go. That's one coat of the Metal Protector HD. And we're just going to spread this out so it cures evenly. In case we want to use it again, which we do. Now this is different than the Metal Protector MD, which we will apply on this test area. We'll be giving the customer this option to restore the metal and use an invisible Metal Protector MD. So you just want to mix the product up, just ensure that it's properly diluted. Just take a clean applicator pad or rag, just put some of the product on there, and just work it into the surface. Now this is what the Metal Protector HD would look like once it's dry, is a wet, nice, glossy coating. But the Metal Protector MD, once it cures, will be invisible. So you just put it on there, and I'm probably applying it. I am applying it more than you really need to. Then just take a clean towel. Now the more product you leave on there, the better. Actually, if you were to leave this and it looked good, then that would be the best protection of all. But if you just take a towel, just start wiping the excess, you can see that it's drying. And then you just want to make sure there's no residue, and that's good. And well, like I said, the more you leave on there, the better. So in 24 hours, if you sprayed water on there, it would bead up. You'd see a very high performance, coating on there. Now to do a second coat, let's see what it looks like if you just leave it on there. See, it has this nice wet look, and as the solvents start to evaporate, it will dry up. a couple more spots. And I'm not sure if you could see in the camera, but there is just a slight residue on the surface. Now, that's not a residue that's acceptable to me, so we're going to go ahead and wet it again. Just go ahead and see, now that I went over it slightly with the rag, there's no residue. It's just a nice shiny surface. And that's a very high performance invisible treatment. So back to the Metal Protector HD. We have it's drying. You can see it was white when we applied it. It's now starting to turn dark and clear, and you can see that there's different textures in the different application methods. Now the most cost-effective way to apply this is using the roller method. Sometimes in the corners you're going to have to use the brush, and then the spraying method, you can actually get a better spray application from using a high performance sprayer. So we're going to put a second coat. The roller method. Got a couple of hairs that we're getting in there. Second coat on the brush method. And then a second coat on the spray method. And it's still drying. As it dries, when it's wet, it'll have a white look, as you can see here in the tray. You want to be careful. When I was brushing it, I started to get a little bit of these little dry pieces that started to show up in my brush strokes. This will start to cure to a very hard, durable surface, clear, and as it does, it'll start to gum up. This is a water-based product, and we'll come back to this as it dries. For some reason, the spray application, I think I may have applied it too thick, too much water in there, so that didn't come out well. But you can see the foam roller application looks great. This is just one coat. This is 2 coats. This is 2 coats as well. A lot of square footage to do.